Hey guys, so WWE Fastlane 2017 went down tonight, and it was the final stop on the road to WrestleMania 33. The big headlining match of the night, of course, was Kevin Owens defending his WWE Universal Championship against Goldberg. So how did that match play out, as well as the other bouts on the card? Let's get into it. The first match of the Fastlane 2017 show happened on the kickoff show. It was a cruiserweight tag team match with Rich Swann and teaming up with Tozawa, taking on Brian Kendrick and Noam Dar. Overall, this was a really fun match for a kickoff show match. All the cruiserweights involved really put a lot of effort into it, and although it was WWE just mashing cruiserweights together on the kickoff show to get some airtime, they actually had some really good chemistry, especially Tozawa and Rich Swann. I was not expecting them to have great chemistry as a team. I think this might have been their first time teaming up together, but surprisingly, they had a lot of good chemistry. Tozawa with his primal grunt, him and Rich Swann. Of course, Rich Swann is one of the most charismatic cruiserweights in the division. They just meshed really well, and it translated in the match. They had a really good match with Kendrick and Noam Dar, and they picked up the win. Tozawa and Rich Swann. Fun match on the kickoff show. Really got the crowd into it, and it should be interesting to see if WWE decides to capitalize on this. I mean, Swann and Dar, they seem like more than just side characters in this match. I mean, Swann seem to have like a really good chemistry with Tozawa, and hopefully they can continue to build up this division, because as of now, if you're not in the title picture, you don't have a storyline in the cruiserweight division. Aside from Tozawa and Kendrick, the only other storyline was Gallagher versus Neville. All the other cruiserweights are just there. So hopefully they can use this kind of as a blueprint, with Swann and Tozawa having really good chemistry. Maybe Kendrick and Dar can form a tag team. They can actually make this a tag team feud as opposed to just Tozawa versus Kendrick. And hopefully all the other cruiserweights can get storylines on 205 Live and really bring some life into the division. But as I said earlier, Tozawa and Rich Swann got the win here. And then the first official match on the Fastlane card, on the official Fastlane 2017 pay-per-view, it was Sami Zayn taking on Samoa Joe, and this was a really good match. Great way to open the show, in my opinion. You got Sami Zayn, the underdog from the underground, taking on the destroyer Samoa Joe, and he lived up to his name. He and Zayn put on a great performance, but Joe got the win by choking out Sami Zayn with his patented sleeper hold. Really fun match to watch. Really made Joe look like a beast by being able to choke out Sami Zayn. I think this rivalry is done for now. I see Samoa Joe perhaps moving on to bigger and better things as the road to WrestleMania gets closer to the big event. And as for Sami Zayn, maybe he gets thrown into the Battle Royal this year, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. WWE really hasn't done much with him ever since his rivalry with Kevin Owens ended. He had that feud with Braun Strowman for a little bit, but he's been floating around from match to match, and I feel like this rivalry with Samoa Joe, until WrestleMania at least, as its shelf life is over, it was just a way of getting Samoa Joe onto the pay-per-view and establish him as a monster, which it did with him choking out Sami Zayn. The next match on the card was Enzo and Cass challenging the Club for the tag team titles. This match was okay. There were some moments where it felt like it was dragging. Enzo and Cass were really over with the Milwaukee crowd. They had him eating out of the palm of their hands. And then Gallows and Anderson, they needed to win this match desperately, and thankfully they did. They successfully retained their titles. Anderson pinned Enzo. Enzo had his foot on the rope, but Gallows managed to throw his foot off the rope, and the ref didn't see it, so Gallows and Anderson retained the belts, and they leave Fastlane as still the WWE Raw Tag Team Champions. Judging by the controversial ending, it looks like a rematch is going to be in the works, perhaps at WrestleMania, where Enzo and Cass may finally get those belts. I'm not sure though. I feel like Gallows and Anderson, their reputation has taken a huge hit ever since AJ Styles got drafted to SmackDown. They got drafted to Raw. They were kind of eating losses there for a while. Then they finally got the Tag Team Championship win, only to be made to look like fools at the hands of Roman Reigns, who took out both of them, I think, in back-to-back weeks. That really damaged their credibility, in my opinion. And this win, while it doesn't fully restore, it's a step in the right direction. So while I do think Enzo and Cass have a slight shot at winning the belts at WrestleMania, personally, I want to see I want to see the Club hold on to these belts for a while and just get on a hot streak or something to establish themselves as dominant heels on the Raw Tag Team division. The next match was Nia Jax versus Sasha Banks. Okay match, nothing too special. Banks got the win here with a roll-up, or no, it was like, I don't know what you call it, but she ended up by having this like roll-up pin on Nia Jax for the win. It looked like she was supposed to grab the rope but couldn't quite reach it. I'm not sure if that was how it's supposed to be, but she ended up getting the win. Nia Jax looked very shocked. I was pretty shocked too. I thought Jax was gonna win and continue to build up her momentum and look like a credible threat to the women's championship. But no, Sasha Banks gets the win, and it kind of plays into my theory on the women's title heading into WrestleMania, which I will explain later. But Nia Jax, hopefully she can insert herself into that title picture as well. She is a dominant force on the Raw Women's division, and considering that those four, Nia Jax, Sasha Banks, Charlotte, and Bayley pretty much are the Raw Women's division, Dana Brooke and Alicia Fox are kind of just filling around in the background. Hopefully Nia Jax can get involved in WrestleMania with the women's title picture, and I'll explain what I mean by that later on when I get to the women's championship match. So after the Nia Jax Sasha Banks match, there was Jinder Mahal versus Cesaro and Rusev versus Big Show. Now these matches were not originally on the card on the kickoff show. Mahal said he wanted to match and Rusev said he wanted to match, so Foley said, alright, both of you go to the ring and decide who's going to fight this guy first, then the other guy can fight the next guy that comes out. So Mahal and Rusev, they go to the ring, they get into a scuffle. Mahal ends up throwing Rusev into a barricade, and he ends up going in the ring and taking on Cesaro. Well, I thought Cesaro was going to squash Mahal, but this match actually went on for a pretty long time, longer than I thought it would, or probably longer than it should have been. But Cesaro gets the win here. He leaves the ring, then in comes Rusev, who beats up on Mahal, throws Mahal out of the ring. Then the Big Show comes in, so it's Rusev versus Big Show. And Big Show beats up Rusev and gets the win, but the match again went longer than I thought it would. Like, I thought WWE was going to do the typical Cesaro squashes Mahal, then Big Show squashes Rusev, but no, these matches actually went longer than what you would have thought. Mahal and Rusev actually got offense in on Cesaro and Big Show, but Cesaro beats Mahal, Big Show beats Rusev, and it's just shocking to me how far Rusev has fallen in 2 years. Yeah, if you remember the build to WrestleMania 31, he was booked as a dominant monster heel when he was the United States Champion. He took out Mark Henry, he took out Jack Swagger, he took out the Big Show. He was taking out everybody they were throwing at him until he lost the belt to John Cena. But at the same time, he was still looking like a credible monster heel, but now he can't even beat the Big Show. Big Show ended up beating him, I think, with 3 choke slams and a KO punch. But yeah, it's just amazing me how far Rusev has fallen. He got a rub from The Rock a couple years ago, and it doesn't seem to matter at this point. But yeah, so I don't know if Mahal and Rusev are going to continue this rivalry. I mean, they're both kind of ice cold at the moment, and just to have them feud doesn't really make sense. I could just see them being tossed in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. But as for Cesaro and Big Show, Cesaro and Sheamus, they mentioned something on the kickoff show that they might get another shot back at the Raw Tag Team titles. And Big Show, I don't know. There are rumors going around that he was supposed to face Shaq, but now there are rumors saying that match is over. So we'll just have to see what they decide to do with the Big Show. Following that match, it was Jack Gallagher versus Neville for the Cruiserweight title, and this was the match of the night in my opinion. The Cruiserweights in this match stole the show to me. Gallagher and Neville put on a very entertaining match, fun to watch. I was on the edge of my seat. There were moments where it looked like Gallagher was going to win the title, but in the end, Neville was able to retain with a massive with a massive red arrow to pin Gallagher for the win. It was a beautiful, I keep wanting to say 450, a beautiful red arrow that it kind of looked like when he landed, he had the Rob Van Dam frog splash bounce up. But he managed to pin Gallagher for the win, and there was just a lot of sweet moves in this match. Neville had this like rebound German suplex to Gallagher where it looked like Gallagher landed square on his head, and then Gallagher, you know, he has his patented headbutts. He hit 3 of them, I think, on Neville. They each sounded very painful. And then before Neville hit the red arrow on Gallagher, he threw Gallagher off the top rope, and Gallagher, it looked like it landed on his head weird again. This is a fun match to watch. This was the match of the night, in my opinion. Neville, still your Cruiserweight champion. He successfully defeats Jack Gallagher. And I think they might be building up to Neville versus Austin Aries. Aries has been killing it on commentary as he recovers from his eye injury. And he had the line of the night, which I'm not going to repeat on here, but it was funny to hear him say it. And they're showing his video package, hyping up his returns. I think maybe come around WrestleMania, Austin Aries is going to take the title from Adrian Neville and become the new face of the Cruiserweight division. After the Cruiserweight title match, we had Roman Reigns taking on Braun Strowman. Now, I thought going into this match, Braun Strowman was going to get the win, but WWE is going to, protect Roman Reigns like they usually do and have maybe the lights go out and the gong go off, distract Roman Reigns, allow Braun Strowman to pick up the win, but no. Roman Reigns beat Braun Strowman cleanly. I don't think that was the right move here. They've been booking Strowman to look like this monster heel pretty much since the brand split. He actually drove Roman Reigns to the announce table during the match, which was really cool. But Roman Reigns spears Strowman for the win cleanly, and yeah, I was pretty shocked. No sign of The Undertaker. I guess they're going to wait till maybe the next night on Raw when I guess they decide what they're going to do with Reigns and Strowman. I think The Undertaker, I still think The Undertaker is going to challenge Roman Reigns at WrestleMania because they're kind of hinting at that at the Royal Rumble. Strowman, I could definitely see him being tossed into the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and I could actually see him winning it. If you don't have a big match at WrestleMania, but you win the Battle Royal, it's kind of a huge deal. Look at Baron Corbin. He did it last year, Big Show the year before, Cesaro the year before that. So I think Strowman will go into the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal and win it. And as for Roman Reigns, I think he has a date with The Undertaker. But as I said, Roman Reigns beats Strowman cleanly, shocking me, and I'm sure a lot more people. After that, it was Charlotte versus Bayley for the Raw Women's title. This match was okay, not special. We've seen better matches from them. NXT had a lot of better matches between them. But the weird thing here was Sasha Banks getting involved. This is what I was saying, where I think her and Nia Jax are going to get involved in the title picture. Because I thought when Sasha looked like she was reaching for the rope, they were going to use that as how she beat Nia Jax. So Nia Jax would have equal qualm or equal reason to say that she was cheated out of the match because Sasha Banks used the rope, but that didn't happen. And then Sasha Banks later gets involved in Charlotte versus Bayley after Bayley had said that Sasha wasn't going to get involved. So when Charlotte came out to the ring, she sent Dana Brooke back to the locker room, and toward the end of the match, it looked like Charlotte was in control. But Sasha Banks comes out, distracts her, ends up telling the ref that Charlotte has the tights when she's trying to pin Bayley. This allows Bayley to hit the Bayley to belly and pick up the win. So it looks like Sasha Banks is, going to turn on Bayley eventually, probably in the next couple of weeks. But Nia Jax, I feel like they're still going to throw her into this match at WrestleMania for the Raw Women's title because it just makes sense to me. I mean, it looks like if you watch the match between Nia Jax and Sasha Banks, it really looks like Sasha Banks is reaching for the ropes, but she couldn't quite get there. So I really think that she was supposed to grab the rope, and then with her interfering in the women's title match, I feel like it would be a fatal four-way at WrestleMania for the women's title, but I don't know if they're still going to go with that. But anyway, the match itself, Bayley beat Charlotte, and Charlotte was undefeated at pay-per-views and title matches, and WWE was hyping this up pretty much every pay-per-view, and the fact that she lost with the distraction thanks to Sasha Banks to Bayley, or that she lost to Bayley thanks to distraction to Sasha Banks, it was very underwhelming for the pay-per-view streak to end. I thought it would have ended at WrestleMania, but it ends at Fastlane with a distraction, so it feels like WWE just kind of wasted a huge opportunity to make a big deal out of Charlotte's streak ending. Once that was over, the main event of the night, Goldberg, his first world title match in, I think, 14 years, taking on Kevin Owens, the reigning, defending Universal Champion. I had two theories going into this match. My first one, Jericho is going to distract Owens, allow Goldberg to win. My second theory, Lesnar is going to interfere in this match and cost Goldberg the title and allow Kevin Owens to win. Well, theory A, my first theory, proved to be the correct one. So Goldberg comes to the ring, Owens comes to the ring before the bell rings. Owens gets out of the ring, walks around, gets back in, gets back out, walks around, and then I think the third or fourth time he gets back in, he says, "All right, let's do this." Ref rings the bell. Chris Jericho's music goes off. Jericho walks on stage. Owens looks at him. yells something at him, turns around, eats a spear from Goldberg. Goldberg gets a jackhammer on Kevin Owens, and that's it. Goldberg wins the WWE Universal title in I think around 20 seconds. So typical Goldberg squash match. Kevin Owens has a date set with Chris Jericho at WrestleMania, obviously now, probably with the WWE United States Championship on the line. And Goldberg and Lesnar, their match is now the Universal title match, and it will probably end up main eventing the show. So Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt and maybe AJ Styles on the SmackDown side, even though Orton won the Royal Rumble and the WWE title is the top prize in the business. Raw is still considered to be the A show, I guess, in Vince McMahon's eyes, and Goldberg and Lesnar, despite being two part-timers, they are two of the biggest wrestlers on WWE's roster, and with the world title being involved, it makes sense for that match to main event WrestleMania 33. So Goldberg easily defeats Kevin Owens in 20 seconds to win the WWE Universal title, and that is how WWE Fastlane 2017 went off the air. Goldberg winning his first world title in 14 years, and it sets up a WrestleMania rematch from WrestleMania 20 against Brock Lesnar, only this time there will be a championship on the line. And yeah, that's Fastlane 2017 in a nutshell. Okay show, pretty average. Best match on the card was definitely Gallagher versus Neville for the Cruiserweight title. But probably the coolest moment, I mean, for me at least, because I grew up watching Goldberg as a kid, seeing them with the world title, while probably not good for the current stars, it was still a cool moment, at least for me to see, because I never thought I'd see Goldberg in WWE again, let alone win a title. So really cool moment, I think, but I think for sure he's going to lose it to Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, and WrestleMania 33 will probably be Goldberg's swan song. So yeah, Lesnar will probably take the belt from Goldberg at WrestleMania. Owens versus Jericho for the US title at WrestleMania. I'm thinking the Fatal 4-Way for the women's title at WrestleMania 33. And yeah, that's all I got for you. Oh, and Roman Reigns versus Undertaker. I think that's going to happen. And maybe, just maybe, with the Undertaker being the well-respected veteran that he is and fan favorite to pretty much every wrestling fan in the world, maybe WWE will finally turn Roman Reigns heel. But we'll just have to wait and see as the road to WrestleMania continues. And that's all I got. So if you like this video, feel free to give it a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel by clicking the subscribe button on the screen or going down below and clicking the subscribe option. Make sure you give me a follow on Twitter at Cincy Fan Zone. I live tweet during various sporting events, wrestling events, and it's also the easiest and fastest way to get updates on my website, cincyfanzone.blogspot.com. You can click the button on screen to check it out, or you can click the link in the description below. I have a lot of content up there. Every video on my YouTube channel is over there. Alright, weekly blog posts for it, and I also have a bunch of pictures, autographs, bobbleheads, and a whole lot more, so please go check it out. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.